Right. Brilliant. What we're going to do now is, first off, you're going to notice a massive improvement on the audio. I am just going to quickly turn this off. Is that going to be alright?
Yeah, that's fine.
Just because we have YouTube on in the background. Little review of the week in Banff.
Do we have to?
Why?
Because it's going to make me sad.
Yeah, we're both a bit
Depressed.
depressed coming away from Banff to a city which, I mean, we went to Paris and figured out we didn't like French cities, but it turns out it's just cities.
Yeah.
Driving everywhere but into the city was absolutely fine. You get into the city and it's just a mess.
Right now.
Yeah, the Banff week review. Hotel?
Travago.
Brilliant. Hotel?
Love it.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. Amazing
Out
view.
of 10.
9.
What could it have done better?
I thought we had our own personal hot tub.
Did you actually?
Yeah. Well, I thought it was like shared hot tubs that you'd be sharing with like 2 other rooms or something, not just like a communal hot tub.
No, I knew it was a communal hot
That
tub.
was just me being a stupid idiot then.
First off, we got a free upgrade to a king room, king suite room, king bedroom, whatever you want to call it, for free. How can you not like that? Which, looking at the other rooms, we saw what I had booked. Now, they would have been fine, but the view from our room
10
was
out of 10.
literally 10 out of 10. You'll have seen that in that room review, which I can't even remember if I actually filmed. I'm certain I did.
Got the video I sent my mum. Can use that.
Yeah, true. I'm going to give the room... I'm going to give it a 10. Even though the...
Oh, you need to set the room on fire?
Yeah, even though the ventilation wasn't
I'm
fantastic.
still mad you didn't let me film that. That would have been really funny.
I wanted to make the fire, which I read on the thing. If you follow the instructions, pull the thing out, it'll be fine. I did it. It wasn't fine. The fire alarm went off twice.
You definitely wake the entire complex up, but you know. Oh, sorry, you wake the entire complex up.
Brilliant. Food in Banff?
Started off slow, but I think we ended on a bang.
Yeah, we had our first meal at the Prowl, which is the restaurant in the hotel, and it weren't great, to be honest.
No, it was
Weren't
very
much.
overpriced.
Yeah, there wasn't many things on it. Breakfast there though was amazing. We went there
Banging.
twice. Might be a couple of pictures I can put up on screen.
Here. And here.
Yeah,
And here.
brilliant.
Enjoy that.
Yeah, that's going to be fun to edit. I'm not actually going to edit that. I'm going to put them up where I want them to be, so you just look stupid.
What's that to your fiance? That's rude.
Yeah, we got engaged.
Yeah, chill. That's all right, I guess.
We're on a little bit of a low right now, aren't we?
Yeah. I think going from something so spectacular that you've been building up your entire life to then the second part of the holiday that wasn't really planned, and it's a city.
Yeah, we haven't planned this at all.
No.
There's 2 places.
Stanley
You know you're
Park.
talking to the camera.
Sorry, I'm just so in love with you. I can't help but look at you.
I'm getting rid of the fact that you just said that. That's so cringe.
Why? I would say that normally if the camera wasn't rolling.
Yeah, exactly. The camera is rolling.
Oh, sorry.
Cut that. What were we saying?
Vancouver. Not really planned it.
We've only planned 2 things.
Stanley Park and what's the other thing we have?
The
planned?
aquarium.
Oh, it's 2 in 1 though, because the Chrome is in Stanley Park.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, one thing then. I've got a mate out here in Vancouver who we're going to meet up with, but that's literally it. And to be honest, I think the fact that we haven't planned anything has sort of made it more difficult to enjoy this part. Which, again, I've just drove 7 hours. You drove an hour and a half.
An hour and 45. And I offered.
So we're tired. Yeah, I'm not saying you didn't. I never said you didn't
I want the
offer.
audience to know that I kept offering and you said no.
No, I was good. This video's not even going to make any sense. We're supposed to be doing a Banff review.
Oh yeah.
Cut back to the Banff review. What would we have just said? What?
Raid the room.
Oh yeah, food.
Oh yeah. So Prowl, the breakfast was really good, and then we've been there twice. We've been there twice now, and that was good. I kept having the avocado Benny, which was delicious.
What
I
would
could
you rate that?
10, 11 if that was on the scale.
Wow.
So good. And then we had a whole
Grizzly
meal at the
House.
Grizzly House.
Again, pictures.
Yeah. I'm not going to do the hair thing again because she's going to mug me off.
Yep.
And then you really want to go to Lupo, so we ended up going to the Lupo.
Yeah, and we got free champagne because we mentioned that we got engaged.
Yeah.
And you know they were quite nice. I had a little card on the bill saying congratulations, that sort of thing. And we sort of realised maybe we should just keep mentioning the fact that we just got engaged.
But we just keep lying about how real fresh it is, because if we just act like we've come here for our engagement meal, they'll be even more likely to give us free stuff, which we'll take because we're verging on the edge of broke now.
We are if we want to get a hotel. This place.
We're supposed to do the Banff review.
Oh yeah, sorry.
We
did a lot of hiking. No, we
Wow.
didn't. We did some walking.
We did a lot of walking and sightseeing. We extremely overestimated the amount of hardcore hiking we'd have to do.
Yeah.
If we'd actually gone for walks around Sense Valley, like we promised we would.
That's a local nature place near where we live.
If we had done that and gone to the gym and everything, we would have been absolutely chilling.
Yeah, well, we were basically. The hardest walk we did was Johnston's Canyon, and it wasn't even that bad.
Talk for yourself, I was dying.
Really?
I was hefting.
Hefting.
I'm going to make a joke.
Go on.
I can't.
Just say it. I'll cut it out.
I'll get copyrighted on YouTube. I'll get copyrighted.
No, don't do it. I know what you're about to say. Oh yeah, Johnston Canyon. So
that was the first thing we did.
that was the first major place we went. It was all right, to be honest. When you go to Banff, you want to see the spectacular views, the mountains, the blue water.
I think it's definitely worth going to because it was really pretty and it's a different side of Banff that you're not going to see unless you actually make the effort to go there. But yeah, it's not like a spectacular view. It's just more of like a nature walk.
Yeah,
So-
no, it's exactly that. And it's busy, which
Yeah.
we've gone in what is supposed to be...
Supposedly.
We've gone in what's supposed to be the shoulder season, the least busy time, no skiing. Well, there's a little... I don't know if there is any skiing in May.
Not in Banff because
No.
everything's melted. Or in Jasper maybe, but you're not going to be staying in Banff if you're skiing in
True.
Jasper.
There's... The lakes aren't thawed out, so you'd expect there to be minimal people, which, again, we've booked it, so why wouldn't they? But it was still busy.
Yeah.
Uh,
I hate to fathom what it's even like during peak seasons because my goodness me.
yeah.
Like we went, I think our last day when we went to breakfast at Brazen, it was quite. I mean, it was really nice and quiet, and the streets were empty because we thought everyone had gone home. And then we went back into town later on at like lunchtime, and it was absolutely heaving. Like where have they all come from?
Yeah, I mean, we thought, okay, maybe people would come Monday to Friday. We're there Sunday to Saturday. We might get a couple of hours on Friday, maybe Monday, that it wouldn't be busy. But I think it was.
It's just busy all year.
It's
round,
just
isn't it?
always busy, I reckon. I don't even know the topic that we were on, to be honest.
What
Oh
were we
yeah,
doing in
Johnston's
Banff?
Canyon.
Yeah, that was the first thing we did. That was what, on Monday.
So what are you rating that?
I would give that a solid like 8 out of 10 because I think it set up the week to be really nice, but also I think it set very high expectations of the level of activity we're going to be doing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm gonna
'Cause-
go for purely based on like I feel like I could see that in England.
Yeah, fair.
Like
Not the icy bits though. The icy bits you would never see that in England. That icy.
a
Let's
6.
be honest.
Look, it was beautiful, but if you've been to places like, I don't even know, like, there's a place in England, I can't remember where it is.
Peak District, Lake District.
I mean, I guess you'll be able to see waterfalls in like Wales and that sort of thing.
I mean, if you show the pictures, you can just be like, you should. Oh, you know what you should
Yeah.
do? Comparisons. You should be like, is this Banff or is this England?
That's way too much effort.
Oh.
You can do that editing bit.
If you hate me, just say that. It's supposed to be a fiance. It's okay.
The water was blue,
Yeah.
which I mean you have to love.
I've got no complaints. I think it was really
No,
gorgeous.
I think it was a good walk. There
I
was
think
just a
it
lot
does-
of people there.
Yeah, it does look Canadian though. Like maybe the greener bits didn't, but I think the icy bits and the blue water you would never get that in England. The water would be like
Yeah.
a nice maybe green if you're lucky,
Yeah,
or,
maybe.
you know. But apart from that,
What did we do after that? The next day we did
no, in the Johnston Canyon we did that in the morning, and then in the afternoon we did the
safari.
safari. Which
So
was,
the wildlife safari. I don't know if there might be a little bit of footage of us seeing the animals that we
Yeah.
saw. Very lackluster.
I would give that a 3 out of 10 purely because I got a little history lesson. I don't mind a bit of history.
The people running it,
10 out of
brilliant.
10, yeah, they
Yeah.
did a really good job.
Really
I can't imagine
charismatic.
what it's like when they just don't see anything.
Well, we basically saw nothing.
Yeah, we saw the
So-
basic animals, didn't we?
Driving into Banff, you'll have seen us come across some, I think they were elk in the middle of the road. We basically, on this wildlife safari, which we paid for, it took us round a couple of roads, didn't go off-road or anything.
I think we're broken down if we went off road.
We saw some elk, some deer,
And
Some
mountain sheep, mountain goats.
the only thing we haven't seen on our own was the mountain of the bighorn sheep.
Yeah.
But that's basically all we saw. We didn't see any wolves or bears. Nothing that I would have wanted to see.
Just anything cool, really.
Yeah, I didn't want to say cool because that's a bit childish, isn't it?
No, because realistically...
How much was it?
I don't want to know. Realistically, you're paying for that because you want to see the stuff that you can't see by yourself. Because they kept
Yeah.
going on and on and on about the fact that they have, like, all the tour guides, they all talk to each other and that you go to see the latest sightings of stuff. But, okay, Emma, I'm not sat here wanting to see elk. I want to see the bears that are going to eat my face. Like, I'm not asking for your help for everything else.
Why are you giving them so much attitude? I thought we liked them.
I did, yeah, to be fair. Sorry.
They showed us one of the best views we saw of the actual,
Yeah,
well,
the
probably the
town.
best view
We
of the
probably wouldn't have
town.
found that realistically
We
by
definitely
ourselves.
wouldn't have. But yeah, again, the whole concept of it being a wildlife safari, no.
They do have that in their terms and conditions though that you're not guaranteed to see any wildlife. But every time we saw like even like some deer, the guys were
Yeah.
like, "Wow, deer, guys! Wow!" And I'm
I think they were saying that. The other day we saw 3 different species, I guess, and they was like that was amazing. That was basically at the start of the
yeah.
the
We were
tour.
like, oh.
And I was a bit like, oh, brilliant. 3 different... We've paid however much we've paid, and we're going to get to see...
It wasn't cheap either because it's a Discover Banff. It's like an official tour company for Banff.
Yeah.
So, but they were sound to be fair. Like,
I didn't give it a rating. What did you going for a 3?
I went for a 3, and that's only because the history facts were good.
Yeah, they spoke to us about, like, literally the start of Banff National Park to what it is today.
Yeah, why you can't see any bison because they were hunted out of extinction out of
Yeah.
the park. And then what was her face? What's her name? Michaela. Gave us a load of animal facts.
You sure it was Michaela?
I think it was Michaela, yeah. What do you think it was?
I can't remember.
Well, then how do you know it, right?
I'm going to go for... Yeah. A 3.
Yeah.
I think it's the safe bet.
What
Then we did the... What did we do in the morning? Oh, we walked up and down at Banff Town.
Yeah. Bought some stuff from
Patagonia, went into all the shops. A lot of the shops, which you expect, but it's a lot like if you go to like Skeggy, Yarmouth, all the Banff gift shops have the same stuff in, all of them. So if you go into one, you've been in all of them, basically.
Yeah.
The view in the town is beautiful. You get to see the mountains all around it. Yeah, that's it really. What else do we do on that? Did we grab food?
To do the glaciers?
Yeah, that was on the Tuesday or the Monday.
No, it was on Tuesday.
No, the Tuesday. Yeah, we were both knackered. Was that the Monday that we were both knackered?
No, Monday was the safari. Tuesday was the glaciers. We had nothing booked for Wednesday, nothing booked for Thursday. We had that cruise. Should we rate the cruise out of 10? Ready? 3,
No.
2, 1. They fucking cancelled it. So.
Language.
Oh, sorry. They bleeping cancelled it.
Talk to the camera, not me.
Sorry. It's just beautiful. Yeah, they sent us an email. On
No,
the 8th of
okay,
May.
you're going into too deep. Yeah, the cruise got cancelled. It was shit. We went there anyway. It was beautiful
because we didn't go on it. We didn't know it was
The
shit.
Skywalk and the Glacier Walk. Rating?
Glaciers, give that a solid 8 out of 10. Skywalk, I give it a solid 1.5 out of 10.
Worse than the Safari.
Oh yeah, true. 3.5 out of 10.
The Glacier, I'm gonna give a 5.
What? I loved it. I was bouncing about in the snow. It was great.
The reason I'm going with a 5 is because 1, you go to this building and you then take a bus across the street, and then you go from that bus into a off-road glacier bus 5 minutes up onto the glacier. You see the pictures and that, they make it look like it's going to be like you're getting in this off-road bus and you're going for half an hour, 45 minutes on top of a massive glacier, but you can see it from the parking. Like, you park your car and you can see where you're going to be stopping.
Yeah, okay, but you're making it sound like it's not really far away. It
It's
wasn't
not.
just across the street.
It was.
It wasn't. They took us all the way up to the where all the gravel was. I think you would have enjoyed it way more if that annoying family weren't there.
There was a family. I mean, you'd have heard them in the video. Yeah, they were a little bit annoying.
And that kid. Monster bus. Monster truck. Monster... Oh, I enjoyed it. It was very cold, but I had fun.
We didn't get to fill our bottles up, which I really wanted to do.
I looked forward to that, and it was too frozen still. Everything was too frozen.
I'm giving Glacier
Spoilers.
5 out of 10, yeah. The Skywalk, I'm giving like a strong 8. I really liked that. I thought I'd be a little bit scared going onto the actual Skywalk, looking down, but it turns out someone else was more scared, which made me not scared. The view, again, amazing. You'll have seen that in the video.
Unnatural.
It was wonderful is what it was.
Humans weren't supposed
The
to-
drive there was actually a highlight as well.
What? Oh, drive to Jasper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
The way back was even more of a highlight. Didn't get it on video, but we saw our first bear on the way back.
Oh, when you drove into it.
I almost drove into the bear. I think we've spoke about this.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
And when it actually happened.
No, I think we spoke about it.
No, when it actually happened as well, because we were still filming and you turned the camera around and you were like, "We seen the first bear," and I was like, "Yeah, you nearly killed it."
I'm almost certain we didn't talk on that because I checked the footage to see if we saw the bear. I don't, but I'm right. What what was Wednesday? What did we do Wednesday? What did we do Wednesday?
Lake Louise.
On Wednesday, we went to Lake Louise. Didn't start off great that day because we forgot to fill up fuel.
Oh, that was funny.
It was
I
not
was having
funny.
a good time.
As soon as we got onto Highway 1, the fuel beeped saying it was empty, and I was like,
No. It was
oh,
low,
we're stuck.
Not empty. No.
We're stuck. We're going to be stuck.
Yeah, okay, but I literally looked it up and it was fine because it said that Chevy Malibus can last 50 to 72 miles without fuel or after the fuel light comes on.
Abby also found a fuel place that wasn't open.
Well, yeah, but it said it was.
So then we basically just firmed
The
it.
sign said back at 11 a.m. and I was like, well, that's just rubbish.
So we just basically firmed it, drove to Lake Louise, and there was petrol there. Filled up there, went and parked. It was so busy.
Yeah.
You know, we managed to get a break in people, and I proposed.
You did?
Yeah,
You too?
you.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't spend too much time there. One, because it was still frozen, so you couldn't really. All you could do was walk around.
Yeah.
Again, it was beautiful. Went back. It was also super busy. Like, it was so busy.
Yeah. For saying it's off season.
Yeah, again, off season, it was so busy. Then, yeah, we went back. What did we do that after that? I'm pretty sure you were feeling ill.
Oh, yeah. We were going out for dinner, but then we just didn't go out, and then I passed out.
There's no way all we did was Lake Louise on Wednesday.
We got engaged and we were like, oh, fuck this. Day's done.
What?
You'll have recording of it, surely. If we did anything.
Right, so basically we can't remember what we did after we got engaged.
We just blacked it out.
And so whatever we did do, there's probably footage of. I'll put it on screen. It can't have been that good. So I'll rate it a 5.
I'll rate it an 8.
Brilliant. Lake Louise, 10.
10. 11. 12.
Look at the camera when you're speaking.
12.
Thursday, we went to Peyto Lake. That was so fun.
Yeah.
That walk, there's going to be a whole video of us walking up there, 25-minute video just walking up Peyto. Abby fell down a tree. I sat on a bench that was covered in snow. Really fun, that walk was.
You lost your hat?
Yeah, so windy at the top. We then drove to Bow Lake, which was just basically pulling over next to it. I don't know if I even recorded anything there. There'll be a footage of whatever I recorded there. What else did we do on Thursday?
We went out for dinner.
Yeah, we went to
Grizzly House.
House. That was well nice. Friday we went to Lake Minnewanka.
Say it properly.
Minnewanka.
Say it properly.
That is how it is. It's
Say it
not
how Google
Minnewanka.
Maps- That's how Google Maps says it.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. She says Lake Minnewanka.
But that's not how Canadians say it.
What's how she says it because she's American.
We went to Two Jack Lake first, which we were like, wow, this is so good. Then we went to Lake Minnewanka, and it was better. Basically, just a bigger version. Really blue. We actually got to see proper blue water. Slash green. What else did we do? Friday.
Lupo.
We went to Lupo. Again, we've spoke about that. We were also going to go to the gondola, but am I boring you?
No, I'm so tired.
But the gondola was like crazy busy. We were told not to book it in advance just
The
because
weather would. If you pre-book it and it's cloudy, then you've just wasted your money because you can't see anything. So we waited till. I mean, we had other stuff booked for the day, so we were gonna just wait till we had a day free. So we went on quite a nice day, and they were basically booked and busy, but we just didn't want to waste the money because we wanted to eat at Lupo for our last dinner and not the Sky Bistro, so we were just going to go up there and go back down for like 120 quid.
Yeah, it'd have been a bit of a waste of money. We'd seen some nice views already. I can't imagine it would have been that much better. I mean, it might have been.
From higher up though.
Yeah, true.
Last time I went on that helicopter tour.
We didn't.
Yeah, we did. Insert the helicopter tour right now.
Oh yeah, you're gonna AI some helicopter footage.
Yeah.
We got in the hot tub. That was cool.
We did. That was really nice. There's no hot tub here, is there?
Nope. Then I basically set the room on fire. Twice.
Throw water on it from a glass cup.
Yeah. Put the fire out.
While you are holding a fan to it, so that the
Yeah, I was having to hold the fan that they gave us in the room, blowing the smoke towards the door, because otherwise it was set the fire
I
on.
thought you just blowing it back into the fireplace.
If I'd have blown it back into the fireplace, the fire would have kept going because of the oxygen. That's it. I think. I feel like our review has made it sound
awful.
Yeah, awful.
Oh, it was so good.
It was
amazing.
one of the best weeks of my life.
Yeah.
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 You could sound more positive about it.
Yeah. Woohoo.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, now we're here.
Boo.
We'll see what we're doing.
Should we see if your friend Josh can book a day off, and we'll just give the car back now, sell our tickets to somebody, and he can just take us back to Banff?
How?
He can drive us. That's why he's booking a day off.
I don't want to drive back to Banff. It was.
He won't drive. No, you won't drive. He'll drive us. No?
No.
What if you break your leg and say you can only be treated at the Calgary hospital?
The Banff hospital.
Oh, yeah. I'll say I'm pregnant and I'm giving birth right now, this second. I'll just eat some food and I'll feel really sick and bloated, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm giving
This isn't even going in the video.
I just need to. I have to put the recording. And then we can just go back to Banff.
No. Right, that might be our review of Banff. We might re-record this.
Probably.
Hopefully.
No, tomorrow.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Now the next couple of videos are going to be based in Vancouver. Probably. Bye.
Giddy up, keys. No.
Right. It's the next day. We went into downtown Vancouver. We took an Uber to get some food, have a look at the shopping, and yeah, just have a little bit of an explore. The Airbnb that we booked, on the listing, they said the walk rating was 96. Out of what? I don't know, 1,000 maybe? Because the walk to the town centre, city centre, how do I put it nicely?
You can't really. It's basically...
I'm going to just say it.
The street to downtown Vancouver is the homeless drug street.
Yeah,
It's literally a neighbourhood of homeless people who are knocked out on drugs and all just shooting up. It's actually crazy to see.
It's honestly, we saw people literally doing smoking crack.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's fentanyl, not smoking crack, it's just fentanyl.
Yeah, I don't know. The Airbnb thing said, the area's not nice, but
it's not the greatest, but
the surrounding area is not fantastic, but the area that the actual apartment's in isn't too bad. And I will give it's not too bad, but you walk 5 minutes down the street and it's both sides of the street full of people doing drugs and living on the streets.
They are definitely, what's the right word? Dimming it down how bad the area really is.
Yeah, they're not.
Your mate literally said, "Oh,
we're in the hood."
We're in the hood, which because when you're coming in, from the main highway, it looks like not a great area, but we were like, yeah, fair enough. They told us that.
It's not too bad. But then
it said on the list, it's literally put down as it's a really good area to walk into downtown Vancouver, and we both said that if we'd walked if we started walking down
We'd
there,
have turned
we would have
around.
turned straight back around and gone back and just got an Uber, because there's no way anyone feels safe unless you're like an actual Vancouver local. I don't think even Vancouver locals dare go down that bit.
I honestly,
it's so dystopian to know that's just happening in a big city as well.
yeah.
But anyway,
So what we've gone and done is booked a hotel.
yay! In a completely different area.
Yeah, I mean, it was the only option really.
Yeah.
Whilst
don't feel safe.
The
car
apartment,
doesn't feel safe.
Yeah, that's my main issue. Is the car that we've hired is just on the street.
Yeah. And
it
also,
might not even
there's
be
no
there
privacy.
now because we've
not actually
left it for an evening.
But we, like, you have to keep show them the blinds.
Yeah, we're having to have the blinds
You're
closed
literally
because
facing the other apartment block, so you're all just staring into it. Like, everyone on the other side has their blinds down as well, because otherwise you're all just staring into each other's apartments. Like, there's no privacy whatsoever.
yeah, I think we will be leaving a review of this Airbnb, and because I don't. Yeah, okay. The apartment is safe.
It's very secure.
Right.
I'm not worried about, walking out of the front apartment door and finding someone like fent folding in front of me. But
I've got a bit of an issue with you get a fob to go into the building, and it's got a tracker on it, a tile tracker. I'm not
sense.
Yeah, okay, it makes sense, but I'm not a fan of it.
No.
Like, because then they can see when we're leaving and could like just nip it into the apartment and I don't know, take our stuff. Odds are they wouldn't. 'Cause the place had nice reviews.
But they will be. It just feels like they're watching us because they can see. There's two of them as well.
Yeah.
I'm guessing because there's two owners of the apartment that it's going to be each of them have their own tile tracker. But
so the plan now is we've done a little bit of washing clothing, sort those out, pack, tidy up. And I mean, if the hotel's awful, we can literally come back.
Yeah.
But
don't think we will.
I don't think we will either.
Because the hotel looks decent enough.
Yeah, the hotel's nice.
And
looks
I'd rather
alright.
just suck that up rather than come back here because
Yeah.
it doesn't feel safe.
We've come to the conclusion that one, we don't like cities,
Yeah.
and two, Airbnbs aren't.
They're very, very hit or miss.
Yeah.
To be fair, I can't think of one Airbnb that we've actually had a good experience with.
I'm trying to think. Like, the first rough one that comes to mind for me is the one in Cardiff. That was rough.
Yeah, that was bad. Even the one we booked with that your dad gave us.
I thought that was alright.
That's probably the nicest.
That is probably the best one we've had.
That's what I'm saying.
And that, I mean, we didn't leave the place.
The recurring theme, realistically, is me.
Yeah. New rule. Abby's not allowed to book things. Her opinion is invalid.
Yeah, fair.
When it comes to accommodation and food, because we've just had a Taco Bell in England. It's
beautiful.
Nice. I wouldn't say beautiful.
No,
it's nice. I would eat a Taco Bell in England. It's awful here.
Yeah, it's not fantastic.
Vancouver is proving itself to not be a place that I want to come back to.
No. For saying that we literally drove
Yeah, we drove 9 hours.
9 hours to get
9.5 hours to get here from
it was supposed to be
beautiful Banff.
Yeah, honestly. Wish we'd come here first, been like, oh, this is awful, then gone to Banff and been like, wow, we should have come here earlier. Yeah, alright, I get it.
We were toying with the idea of just trying to find a hotel back in Banff and going back there. But because the flight is from Vancouver, we can't really.
No.
We could though, but we can't.
We have no money left. We just spent the last of our money on this new hotel.
Nah, we're doing all right. just had a refund from the Banff Hotel and all.
I've got 200 quid left. 200.
Yeah, no, because you haven't touched your savings.
I had before we even came out.
We've got a couple of things planned still, which is Stanley Park, biking around it, and the aquarium. And to be honest, they're probably going to be the last couple of things we do.
The rest of it's just
chilling,
surviving until we can get back on the plane.
No, it really is.
And go home.
Yeah. The next trip you see from us won't be a city break. It'll be
It's good because we both figured out that we didn't neither of us want the busy, bustling city life. We both want to be quiet life, pretty views, no fent folds. It is actually so crazy though, because like even in London, you don't see that in London.
No, you don't really. Well, I don't know if fentanyl's
obviously
big in London.
To be fair though, I was reading up on it because I was wondering, like, I've like not really heard anything about Vancouver having a drug problem.
No, I hadn't.
But apparently they basically like legalized personal use narcotics like 2 years ago, and since then their drug problem's gone from bad to catastrophic basically, which is why there's like basically thousands of people lying in the streets, like all. To be fair, if in a positive light, it is. Taking away the fact that they're fed falling over the street and it looks really weird and just crazy dystopian, it is quite cute that they're all like friends. You know what I mean? That's the only way I was like making myself feel better. I was like, oh, I bet they're all really close with each other, all sharing their drugs and, you know, watching over each other while they're fed folding. Like, it's quite cute.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But it is sad because then I was getting sad because I was like, oh, this is like someone's kid.
That's, I mean.
Like someone.
It really puts into perspective.
Honestly, how big
like I bought a car recently that stopped working after a week. Would I rather have that happen to me again or live like that? I feel really bad for them.
Yeah.
But
it is crazy.
But I can cut this. Is it their fault?
I feel like half and half because you never know what someone's circumstances are, and we've never had a drug addiction.
That's a vape. You showing your ring?
Oh yeah.
And the vape. Nicotine addict.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I know how hard it is for me to quit vaping. I cannot imagine how hard it is to
quit fentanyl.
Just quit hardcore drugs that you literally rely on.
I mean,
like, if I don't have a vape, I get a bit irritable and I get a bit, you know,
I know.
But I'm not on risk of dying because I'm in huge withdrawals just on the street.
You know, a lot of people who become addicted to fentanyl, it happens because the drug that they're taking is laced with it, or cut in with fentanyl.
Well, that's what that's what it said. It said that majority of Vancouver, like people that are living on the streets, the majority of them started off as heroin addicts.
Yeah.
And then after certain narcotics got legalised in small amounts for personal use,
get cut with it.
The fentanyl just became the number one thing to go to, and that's basically the only thing that people take in Vancouver.
But it's crazy because like the tiniest amount of fentanyl kills you, just straight up kills you. So, I mean, they must still be doing heroin cut with fentanyl. That's just what they're doing. But it just looks insane. We literally saw someone smoking a bong of, we don't know what it is.
There's also a lot of cannabis stores.
Yeah, it's legal in
yeah, I know, but
Canada.
It was like, well, I didn't really see any apart from like one like cute cafe in the middle of Vancouver. But all up our street, there's like 6 different shops for cannabis.
Is there?
Yeah. But it is a bit crazy. But I get why you can't really list that on your Airbnb, like, oh.
No, but we're gonna have to leave a review.
Yeah, no, obviously saying like just be aware that they'll probably delete the review. But, you know.
I don't think they can.
Can they not?
On Airbnb.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have to because we've been fucked over a bit.
Yeah.
Like,
if we'd known this was the area, because if you're coming like us, you're coming from the UK and you have no idea what the areas are like, I'm not going to openly go, oh, let me just double check to make sure it's not a drug-riddled area. Like, I'm not even going to think that.
No.
I'm thinking it's a main city, people always go and visit and they're touristy. chilling like Banff.
No.
No one's fent folding in Banff, I'll tell you that.
I miss Banff so much.
Me too. We shouldn't have left. Do you know what this is? This is because my family were like, oh, only a week, you're only staying for a week. And then I felt like I had to do more. And now look at us, Mum. We're surrounded by drug people.
Abby's doing fentanyl because...
I'm going to do fent, Mum, just to prove a point. I'm going to fent fold the street with the random people. Josh will film it, and I won't come home because I'll be addicted. And then you'll never stop talking about me being...
And then she's going to pour on her engagement ring to get some more fent.
Yeah. That's many as well. That's quite a lot of fent, I bet. Especially if it's cut with rat poison or whatever you want to cut it with.
So yeah, we're getting the hell out of here.
Hell out of Dodge. Nice little area where Josh's friend is from, so he's vetoed us.
Yeah,
Not vetoed us? What's the word?
I don't know.
I don't know, background checked it.
I told him where...
That?
Not that particular place, but he said anywhere in Surrey's fine.
No one's fent folding.
No. Well, they might be, but probably not as much as that.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, it's all just a bit too much here.
Yeah. I think maybe if we'd come from like Calgary and we'd gone straight from Calgary to Vancouver, we might be a bit more adjusted. But going from like gorgeous small town Banff where everyone's really nice and polite and normal to then
Fentfold Central.
Yeah, basically. Drug dealer depot.
Isn't that a place in Fortnite?
Is it?
No.
Oh. I don't know why you said. I thought you said GTA for a second. Drug dealer depot. Isn't it Dusty Depot?
I think so. Yeah, it is. So yeah, we'll
give you a third room review. Yippee! Look at you guys.
It just has to be done sometimes. Yeah. I don't feel comfortable leaving the car that we could, if something happens to the car, which it might have, and we're sitting here talking like we're going to be able to get to the hotel. Yeah, it just doesn't feel safe leaving the car there.
No.
We'll catch up with you.